Now is Democratic Congresswoman from Texas, Julie Johnson. And I know you're in Dallas right now, Congresswoman. I appreciate your time, especially on this really important issue. And listen, there have been a lot of questions surrounding the emergency alert system in the flood zone and whether local officials failed that community. I'm curious, what answers do you have right now for the Texans that are so desperate to have those answers?
Right. Well, it appears that local officials and Republicans in the state of Texas did fail that community. You know, they requested a grant for sirens and emergency notification equipment that was denied by Greg Abbott and Texas Republicans 3 times. And this area is nicknamed Flood Alley for a reason. It's a difficult area of Texas, and it has a high propensity for floods. It's had a history of devastating floods in the past. It's absolutely ridiculous that the state denied those requests. And then additionally, the local officials did not get that equipment in place either. And then on top of that, what we are seeing is that in FEMA, you know, they fired the meteorologist that was in charge of coordinating the communication between the National Weather Service and local officials to get out these alerts. So there's multiple breakdowns on many levels, and I've sit on the FEMA subcommittee of Homeland Security. I have demanded that our committee engage in investigation so that we can really pinpoint all the various areas of breakdowns to prevent this terrible tragedy from ever happening again.
You believe that this was 100% preventable?
Well, you know, Mother Nature certainly has its part in the play, you know, and there is a devastating, you know, unusual scientific weather event that happened. And so there's some aspect of that too. But what we do know is that there is a community just 15 miles down the river that had those sirens in place. Every single person evacuated, and they didn't sustain the same loss of life that we saw upriver in the areas that did not have these sirens and warnings in place. So that is a big fact of evidence that points to some issues that need to be addressed immediately.
Well, and speaking to the call for those answers, you're now demanding for a hearing to take place, a federal hearing on the response there in Texas. What are you hoping to accomplish there?
Well, just get answers. You know, the families want to know what happened. They want to know what the government did right. You know, we had some incredibly brave first responders, swimmers and Coast Guard swimmers that did a heroic work of trying to save people. So there's a lot of things that did well, but there's absolutely areas where the government failed, and we need to just we need to figure that out. You can't just sweep that under the rug and only look forward. You have to always look in the review mirror to see what happened so that you can see how government could improve, we could fix so that these kinds of things don't happen in the future. You know, we've had a tragic loss of life in Texas, so many young girls, so many families, and we have so many that are still missing, and it's heartbreaking and it's horrific. And if the government didn't do part of what it should do to have stopped this, then we need to understand that so that we can immediately correct it.
All right, Congresswoman Julie Johnson, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman